Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21. It's career mode. This is episode 129. We are nearing the end of the Giro. It's stage 18, mountain stage right ahead of us, and our chances of getting back into the top five just look worse and worse day by day. But today is a day to maybe make up some ground in that. And then those odds, like I said, it keeps looking worse. Well, here's one main reason why it looks a bit worse. Karaman entering the Giro had zero fatigue. Zero. And he was at 92% fitness or something like that since the start of the race. He only climbed up to about 94, and suddenly he has now fallen off drastically. He's down to 87% fitness. He is supposed to be in a fitness peak. It's never happened, and it won't happen. He's still too far away. And his fatigue, which was at 0, is approaching 50. And he is now supposedly tired. He's going to struggle to have a good race day condition here in these final stages, even though he came in at what should have been the perfect stage in your fitness level. No fatigue, coming right into the low 90s on that fitness, which over the course of the race should hit 99. You should have your fitness peak. You have your objective. I mean, he should have been perfectly set for this race. And it's been the total opposite of that. And now he stands a real possibility of seeing some bad days ahead of him, which could see his position worsen. Let's make sure he does not worsen to the point of falling outside of the top 10 entirely like he did in last year's Tour de France. Right? Yes, Tour de France, because it was last year's Giro where he was on the podium at this point and then suddenly withdrew from the race. All right, we are into the stage, still very early on. There will be a time lapse through part of this stage, I think, once we kind of get organized, but I've put Petrov into the break for today. I can't leave him on auto as I haven't adjusted the settings for what he should do while being on auto, so I can make sure he stays put within the group. For now, he's sitting in place comfortably while the breakaway of 13 is quickly up to a 7-minute gap, now approaching the
There's an attack in the leading group. Some riders are not giving it their all
top
and
of the
sharing
climb
the
here.
pace.
My main thing for him is to either support late or to gain time and improve his position, which is 20th. If we can get him up into the top 15 from the breakaway winning gap today, then he'll be in great shape. See, the whole group is kind of on the attack here. We don't want to attack. We just want to recover our position here very, very quickly.
They're heading downhill, so they've got
Minimal
to make sure to
effort
keep warm and make
on
no
his
mistakes
chase,
on their
and actually
trajectory.
at the moment he's not even
The
catching
gap
these
is
guys very
widening.
well
The pack
in their
doesn't seem too
tuck.
concerned.
There you go. 7.5 minutes now. The gap as they open up an additional minute, attacking over the top of that climb. Petrov now sitting back on and recovering. 8 minutes to go. 184 kilometers to go in the stage. Let's speed things up until we get into the next climb. Meanwhile, the team in good shape. Karaman, who we feared he could have a bad day, he's got a +1. It's okay. He actually still had a +2 on the expected race day condition draw, so it's actually a -1
The
draw.
pack doesn't seem to.
So we're into climb number 2, and from the looks of it, this group pushed pretty hard on the flat. On the climb itself, they're easing off, conserving some energy, and then
The
we're
pace
waiting
is
to get
really hot, so
till
for the moment,
the top
we
of the
shouldn't see
climb.
too many attacks.
We are starting to see a little bit of increased effort here in the Peloton, and it has slowed the rate of gain for this group, which is out 10 minutes now. They are looking more and more likely to easily take the stage here. A little bit of an acceleration now. Now it's on, isn't it? Skjelmos, Garcia, Grossschartner. I'm guessing they're thinking about winning the stage. It's a
couple
little
of
far
teams
out
have
for
set
them
themselves
to
up as
really
pacemakers
try
for
to
the pack.
split this
They
group,
obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
or the Peloton's
It's in such
increase
percentages
is
that the
what's
strongest
led
can
to it. I
create
think
some
this might
gaps.
have more to do simply with the fact that these guys are so far away that the Peloton has accelerated, so they have accelerated. They're going to expend a bit more energy here, assuming that they'll recover on the descent. 4.5K to go. Let's go ahead and get water. Easy thing to do right now. Out to an 11-minute gap now. They've opened up another minute, so this push might not be related to the Peloton. They're just trying to make things hard. Luckily, Petrov has really good condition today and should easily get by. Okay, we're going to start moving forward with Petrov so that when the attack comes, he is not at the back end of this. 1.4K.
They really are moving. The pack can't get strung out too far, or it's going to start breaking up.
See, this is actually stopping the attack a bit at the moment. 500 meters. And now we can do our own little acceleration to make sure we don't get dropped. And the group splits in half, but we are in the main group of 8 riders and did so much less effort than what we've seen with the others. Let's double check with all of these guys where the Peloton is just not pushing anywhere near as hard. That chase group of 5 is pushing pretty hard right now to keep the gap the same. We'll see what happens when they actually get on the flat. The Peloton is shrinking as a number of riders have been dropped over that climb, down to 107 at the moment, though there seems to be about 30 riders that have a great chance of getting back on. Most do, and the gap's now at 10:45. So it held pretty steady over that climb, meaning the Peloton did some damage, thinned out a little bit, and we're now looking at 112K to go, so it's going to be time to get water. Petrov easily staying on board. And let's go ahead and have Sift C, actually. You're the best on the flat. Go ahead and... That uphill section only lasted for a moment. Sift C can quickly get back to the front with water. He is the domestique after all. And we're down to 2 primary climbs left. 1 rider has now been dropped from the breakaway as they continue to push. But Petrov, hanging on to the back end, has actually conserved, even though he does not have a good flat rating. Now, of course, you would say, this is not a cool thing we're doing, but this is about the GC, and you see that a lot in late stages. You see plenty of riders who do not contribute. Normal circumstances where we would be thinking about winning the stage, he would contribute. But that's not at all the case. Speaking of not the case, the big automatic win for this group is disappearing pretty fast. Their gap is down to 7 minutes. So Petrov may yet just be well placed to help Karaman later. Speaking of, this group has been coming in hot and heavy. Look, there is fatigue in the legs. Up and down, they are not recovering here. You can see those heart rates are holding at about 144, 145. All the little uphill sections that we've had are doing some damage, and even Karaman is feeling it. Sifsi, who's great on the flat, did not recover at all, and he is getting more and more tired, and the Peloton is getting smaller. 6 riders smaller, but they have dropped another 6 riders or so on what is essentially the flat terrain. Now, Petrov, I need to put him on auto for the time being because we need to focus on our Alscat climb that is coming. The Paso de los Stelvio, essentially 25 kilometers, 2,700 meters of climbing. More than 100 meters per K that they are going uphill. It's 7.3% average, and it's fairly consistent in its climb, in its percentage. It's a little gradual in the first 10K, and the last 15K are pretty steep. Karaman did not get back to full gas. Gonzalez Albiol is, even himself, not quite there. Riabovis is looking good, but Martin Guerrero's not going to last terribly long on this climb, nor is Narbutas. Sifsi looks like he's going to last a little bit longer. We've almost caught up to that first rider dropped from the group. Checking back in up here for a moment. Petrov is looking good. Realistically, I need to take the risk of him getting dropped and climbing solo. And then if that happens, let him come back to the group to support Karaman. He has definitely expended a bit more energy in terms of what's left of his yellow bar.
Some team
But
managers
he's
mustn't
certainly
appreciate the
looking
fact that
better
there is
than
a
our
breakaway,
domestiques,
given that the
who
pack
are
has
now
increased
starting
its
to
speed.
feel the climb with 20k to go. So Narbutas, we're going to gel up for him. Martin Guerrero, we will gel up for him. He's holding his position at the front just fine. He's not even working as a domestique, but a -1 for him is enough, even though he's riding solo. And as a 78 mountain, that he's nearly out of energy. We're at 120 riders. 2 riders have been dropped. Petrov not one of those. Back off a little bit more and conserve some energy. 10 riders left in that group. And they reopened that gap. It's out to 8:42. Karaman has actually recovered a bit here.
The breakaway is not
We
to everybody's liking. The
might
Peloton has
want to
significantly increased
initiate
its speed.
some pain and suffering into the legs of this group here at some point. If it continues like this for much longer. 17k to go on the climb. Checking back in up front. Petrov. Another rider has been dropped down to 9 now. And the gap continues to increase.
The
Now it's
riders are
9.5
going through a very
minutes.
tough portion with
A
percentages
little bit of an
above 10%.
acceleration from Narvaez. Not really. Trying to. Not succeeding necessarily. But Petrov hanging in there well. 48k. It looks like off the back end we're about to lose another rider. Yes, down to 7. Put your hand up. There you go. You're good to go now. And these guys, I should have gotten water before the climb. It's a little late in the process right now. 14.5k to go.
There's an attack from inside the breakaway group.
Skilmos
The pack
has
is
attacked.
increasing its work rate. Some
Okay.
teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
3 riders going clear. Okay, now we're definitely thinking about supporting our leader from here, as he's missed the attack and no point trying to chase that thing down. And where there is a point is that I think my entire team is right here in position. They are, and Karaman is fresh and strong. 13.5k to go. If we're gonna do something, we have to do something. No more idle backseat. Put Martin Guerrero on the back end for the sake of safety. It's weird that Sifsi is looking better than Narbutas. Here we go. Gel for Kikochi. On to Sift C. It's that big acceleration. Not breaking the toe at the moment though. RTL pushing. And we're on to Kikochi now. Sifsi to get out of the way.
Look, the pack is
And
taking
we're
its
already
foot
down to
off the gas.
105.
The team leaders
Meanwhile,
can't be too
Petrov
worried about the breakaway.
with 6 riders, they have really lost those front 3. But Petrov is fresh. Looking good to support the effort later on. Ooh, for a moment we have separation. 9 riders with 10k to go. Push a little bit harder. See if we can't expand that gap while they try to pull us back. And it is opening up. 37, now 41 seconds.
There's a rider trying to break away from the
back
bunch.
in contact. But what did that take for them to get
This
back in
climb is
contact?
feared by many riders. The percentages
Peloton's
are
definitely
very
thinner
high.
than it was when it was in contact. 20 riders less. 5 more riders just falling off the back. 2 more riders falling off the back. Our Butas and Sifsi are gone. Kakovji. Get him onto the back end. I'm guessing Martin Giro has fallen off. Yes, he has. Down to 3. But they're looking good. 8K to go. And Petrov, of course, is 3 minutes up the road and will be picked up
Some
soon
team
enough.
managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
Down to 50 riders now. We have dropped, what, 70 riders? And here is Petrov. Petrov's going to get in line behind Gonzalez Albiol because of how fresh he is, even though Gonzalez Albiol was looking great. Petrov's going to, come on, get up to speed. There you go. And here come the attacks. Warburton. Gonzalez Albiol, Gel, we're down to 4.5K here. Guerrero, Almeida, but look
Now
the
guys
effort
up
that
front
it's taking
are
them.
asking serious questions
One thing
of the
we need to be
riders in the
careful
rear,
of,
as
though,
more of them are
is
left in the
that
wake.
Karaman is not looking great, so we don't necessarily want to attack right now. In fact, what I'd love to see happen is all 4 of these guys in a group of 31 heading over the top. So we're going to back off a little bit and see if we can't get Riabovis still alive in this thing. We'll keep an eye on him short term. It looks like we're going to be down to 3. But look at all those riders getting dropped. Okay, Gonzalez Albiol. Peloton of just 12 riders. Reaching the top, Gonzalez Albiol is exhausted, but we've done okay. Hang on to the back end of Grossschartner, hopefully. 12 riders. How quickly can we get Petrov to go get water? Oof, this group is stretched thin. This group is stretched thin. Can he still be a part of this group officially and get water? Can he make the progress to get back in position? He is already recovered.
Forward, although victory seems assured for the breakaway.
6 minutes. Breakaway did have enough, but that's okay. We have Petrov where we need him. And we have water, hopefully, where we need it. As we are attacking on this descent. Karaman is almost fully recovered now. Gonzalez Albiol is looking good. Petrov finally gets water to Karaman. It's hard to hand a water bottle to somebody at full speed, full gas, 99 effort, downhill. Blinking red on a 99 effort. Okay, now, do we want 78, 75, 81, 82? Do we want to swap Petrov and Gonzalez Albiol? Oof, Martin Guerrero has crashed.
There's a collective fall with
And
several
he's
riders
lost a
on the
lot of
ground.
time. He's
We
10
can only
minutes
hope that they all
behind.
get back up.
He's already been caught by Narbutas.
There's now
Time
just 10
continues
kilometers left.
to add on, but he is up and moving again. And we're about to begin the climb. We are catching Warburton, who attacked on the last climb. This is not from the breakaway. This is from here. So this makes 13 contenders, but you figure he's going to be struggling from 8th place. And he's going to lose a lot of time, theoretically. Fortunato is 43rd, doing some work. Who else is here? Gross-Schartner from 19th. Storer is 9th. Bernal is here, of course. Almeida. We have Foss, Yates, Hagita, and Dina. And we are missing Pogačar and a number of riders in or around the top 10, top 15.
The group is slowly thinning out.
And Riabovas is with them. So if they do come back at us, we have Riabovas. 9K to go. Bernal has attacked. He's not the one I'm worried about, as we are down to 9 riders. We've already dropped 3 riders from the group. 7.9K into the final climb. The finish, it's flat, and it is probably 1K, 2Ks from the top of the climb. Sport riders are nearly done. Let these guys do some work. Warburton, Bernal goes on. Karaman is going to be in good shape for those final 5K, hopefully. Gel up. I think the way I want to run this one as we get close to the end here is Gonzalez Albiol's just going to hang on as long as he can, taking the brunt of the climbing. And then Petrov is going to go forward as quickly as he can. And then Karaman, ooh, there already. Karaman, gel up, 4.5K to go overall. On to him, and let's see who can keep up. Petrov, see you later. Okay, Dina hanging on to the back end. Karaman, it's eating up some energy here, but we are closing in on the end. And for now, I guess just hang on, because there's not a great opportunity to necessarily attack these guys just yet as we come back on Champion. Warburton somehow still ahead of the group. He never got caught. I don't understand that. Okay. Oh, no. Don't. I was about to attack, but I see that we are really stretched here. As Bernal or Breakaway is about to win the stage. Garcia and Sciolmos. Breakaway has won into the final kilometer, but we are out of energy.
We're waiting for the back markers, who appear to be fairly numerous in this difficult race.
Our 74 resistance only getting us so far, but we are in the key group, and they're showing us King of the Mountain stuff that's really messing with the view of what's there. 9th on the stage. But that's 2 Breakaway riders. That's Warburton. That's Bernal up ahead. And then we are right there in a group of, I think, 4. Petrov, 13th on the stage. That's going to improve his position. Gonzalez Albiol, 17th on the stage, going to improve his position. Riabovas gets 20th on the stage. So they all do really well in the overall. And we know that the Pogačar group never caught up. Does that change the overall? Does that impact our position? Well, let's find out. Gap was 2:49. We lose about 10 seconds to a couple of guys, but otherwise we were right there in the mix. Warburton was half a minute ahead. Bernal had gained some time. He gained about a minute and a half. But then behind us, Dina lost time. Yates lost time. Where? Gegenhardt, 8:02 down. Pogačar, 8:48 behind. That is 6 minutes just to us that he lost. So, okay. So Bernal is now very comfortably ahead, 4 minutes clear of Almeida. Hagita is 5:24 down, and we are 11 seconds behind Tobias Foss, and slightly better as a time trialist. So we could definitely get those 11 seconds. Warburton has moved up from 9th to 6th, but he's over 3 minutes behind us. So our battle essentially is for the last podium spot. Hagita, not a good time trialist, at just over a minute ahead, essentially could be caught. And Pogačar has slipped all the way from 2nd, right, to 8th place at 10 minutes behind. A terrible day for him. We've had our bad day. That day was much worse for him. He lost a huge amount of time, and that was from our team effort. Remember, the Peloton had really largely sat up, and we took control and made a push. And yes, Karaman lost a minute and a half to Bernal, and he lost a small amount of time to a couple guys, and Warburton certainly caught up a little bit. And Karaman did not look very good today with his +1. But we pushed right to his limit, and while he lost a little bit, others lost a ton. So we stretched it to the limit, we pushed it to the limit, and we have gained a lot. Gegenhardt lost 8 minutes. He was 9 minutes down, so he was not out of it. Dina lost time there. I mean, all of these guys back here lost big chunks of time. Petrov now into the top 20. Gonzalez Albiol 15th. Ryabovas up to 22nd. And poor Martin Guerrero slipped from 20th to 29th. But into the top 5. Big gap behind us. And we have a chance still, barely, at a podium. A long time ago, I said that Bernal and Pogacar were heavy favorites, and Almeida looked very likely to get 3rd place. Well, now, with Pogacar's bad day, we actually have a shot to squeeze into the last podium spot. But Hagita and Foss look very good, and they will not be easy to overtake. But it could happen. Karaman, though, still could have some bad days ahead of him, especially with the condition he's in at this stage. And we're going to need him to at least be neutral, if not good, in the remaining days to have a chance. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.